Erin from Inspira, and I'll be interviewing Leah today from LL Driving School, just asking her a few questions about how she started up her own business.
Okay, hi there. My name's Leah Lister, and I'm currently running LLL Driving School, teaching new people to drive, people who maybe want to improve their skills, looking after older people as well, and looking out for foreign people who need to get a British license as well. So all sorts.
Brilliant. So I'll just start off with the first question. What was your journey to becoming a driving instructor?
Okay, so I've had a varied career before reaching this point. So I've got a background in marketing management, actually. I used to work at the pencil factory, and I was in marketing management there. And prior to that, I was in the hospitality industry, in hotel management. And I've also worked at the Sand Centre up in Carlisle. So there's quite a varied thing. But the key thing to all of this is it's all about business and people. So I kind of like went, so that was my career. My longest stint was at the pencil factory for 17 years. There were some redundancies. And it took me some time to reflect and to find out, well, what do I really want to do from here? Some key sort of things really was that I like people and I enjoy business and I understood the marketing elements of it all. So, and I enjoy driving actually. But that's probably the smallest element of it. It's being able to converse with people, making people feel comfortable and teaching them a life skill at the end of the day. But it's getting across those facts and keeping people safe out there. So yeah.
Brilliant. So, and what qualifications did you need to become a driving instructor, and what training did you undertake?
Yeah, okay. So people just looking at this, so you've got to be over 21, which I am. So for younger people, you do have to be over 21 and you have to have been driving for at least 3 years, okay? And then you must make sure that you don't have any more than 6 points on your license and that you haven't got a criminal record, okay? So those were the prerequisites before actually kind of like being able to do the actual course. To become an approved driving instructor, because that's what we're called, ADIs, approved driving instructors, you have to pretty much undertake like the theory test that everybody else has to do. So it's in 3 parts. So you do part 1, which is called your theory test, but we have to answer 100 questions, whereas people taking their car test only have to answer 50. And in the hazard perception element of it, we have to get 57 out of 75, whereas you guys only have to get 43 out of 50 if you're passing that. So it's a little bit higher. Part 2 is then assessing your own driving. So I had to take my own driving test. None of this happens really much in Cumbria. There isn't currently somewhere where you could take a part 2, so I had to go over to Newcastle to do that. So wasn't that familiar with some of the roads in Newcastle, but it's an hour-long test where they're looking at my driving, and I had to do all the manoeuvres. So just the parallel parking, reversing round corners, bay parking, reversing into a bay, and just general driving and making sure that I was of a standard. And then part 3 is where you are then assessed by an examiner and they see how you teach a pupil to learn, and then you're judged on the different criteria, and you have to pass all those 3 elements to be able to become a driving instructor. Okay, and then once you're qualified and you have passed, you will be issued with a certificate, and then every 2 years you are checked by somebody from the DVLA. They come and sit in on one of your lessons, a bit nerve-wracking. They'll sit in the back of the car and they'll observe you, and they've got a criteria to mark. So, I mean, it's quite reassuring that not just anybody can just come out and do this, because there's a very rigid criteria to be able to do this. Yeah.
That's brilliant, thank you. So the next question is, you've been employed by other people before and now you are currently self-employed. And what are the pluses and the minuses to being self-employed?
Okay, so the first big plus is that I'm my own boss. So that's really the big advantage of it. I can set my own hours. I don't have any office politics to deal with.
Always a good one.
That is a good one, yeah. So I can take holiday when I like. I can work when I like. I meet lots of interesting people. The sort of the things that you really need to be able to be efficient and work by yourself, though, is that you need to be organised and you need to have some business acumen as well. So there's no point me just going out there and just giving lessons and not really understanding how much I need to charge, what your break-even point is, etc. And then you've got all your tax returns to fill in because you are self-employed. So there's that sort of thing. So the downsides is that even though you're your own boss, you do have clients out there and you're trying to please people. And sometimes I say yes too much. So then I'm working really a lot longer than I want to because I don't want to let anybody down. And there's only so many hours in the day, so it is a bit tricky. And I don't like that, having to say no to people. I'm sorry, I can't take you on. I'm just full at the moment. That I don't really like that. So I try and squeeze as many people in as I can. But I have to be realistic, and you do really need to be disciplined in that way. In terms of, right, I'm going to be working these hours. These are the slots I've got. I'm sorry, you're either going to have to wait or. We're all very friendly in this community, so I'll recommend another driving instructor or something if I can't see them straight away. And then sometimes, I am by myself, really. Okay, I'm with a client, but, a lot of the time I'm teaching and teaching stroke coaching, teaching them how to learn to drive. So it's not like you're sitting there having a chat every few minutes. So it can be a bit lonely. In terms of meeting other driving instructors and that sort of thing. But I make sure I go on a few courses and there's stuff like that. And we do have meetings so we can keep up to date with all the latest legislation and see what else is happening out there. So yeah, pluses and minuses. I guess in a way, when you're in a job and you're employed by somebody, you can see a big career progression and where you're going to be going, and maybe, I'm going to get that job next and then that one. Whereas this is my job really currently. So if I wanted to change, it would be a different direction. But for me, in my life at this time now, it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
There are ways of expanding. If I wanted to, I could potentially train up. I could train other people to become driving instructors. I've not currently done that. I could then take on other people and they become a part of my franchise, LLL Driving School. So there are other things I could do in that element, but currently I'm very happy at my stage of life, just meeting people, being my own boss and choosing my own hours.
Yes, that's brilliant. Okay, so the next question is, what advice would you give to people that are looking to start up their own business?
Okay, so you really do need to be clear about what you're aiming to do. Do you have enough money to set yourself up? Or can you loan the money from somewhere to set yourself up? Are you organised? Are you disciplined? Do you have the get up and go? Because at the end of the day, there's only you to motivate yourself. Yeah, because when you're a part of an organisation, you've got a set time to go into work and be there. If you're setting up your own business, it's you that is the driver. Now that suits some people. Others, it may be that it's not quite for them. But you do need to keep yourself in mind that it is a business at the end of the day and that you're there to make money. Okay, it should be enjoyable and it should be something that you want to do. So, good luck to anybody that finds anything like that they really want to do and get behind it. And I think that's it. If you've really got a good idea and you really, really want to do it, you'll be enthusiastic about it and will really put your heart and soul into it. But remember to do the figures. That's the only thing I would really solidly advise there.
That's some really great advice. Thank you for that. So the next question is, what's the best thing about being a driving instructor? Okay,
so I really do think it is. It's it's seeing something through from the beginning to the end, and I really like that. I'm a complete finisher anyway, and so it's seeing somebody, they come into the car for the first time, everybody starts at a different place, but you all finish up in the same place, and it's really nice to see that journey with somebody, and you're teaching them a life skill. And especially around here, you absolutely do need to be able to drive, don't you? So it's one of those things, and I really feel some real achievements. And then even people that come to me, they've been nervous. I've had people like in the sort of the 50s, and they wish that they'd driven ages ago, and that was one of the best things. And she said, it's just opened up my life. I can take my granddaughter now to places. I can get myself to work. It's the best thing I've ever done. It's a life skill, and I really enjoy being able to help people to achieve that.
Oh, that's lovely. So the last question is, there's plenty of people out there that want to become a driving instructor in the future. What would be your best advice to them?
Okay, so again, so just look at, where do you want to set up? What is the competition? And really, it's been about personable, and obviously knowing your trade, but it's been personable and being understanding and being patient, and those are the really big things that you really need to have. And obviously not being scared out there. It's a busy old place out on the roads out there, so just kind of like having a bit of nerves of steel sometimes, but I do have dual control, so I can brake somebody, and I could reach over and touch the steering wheel as well if I needed to bring somebody back onto the road. But yeah, being personable, having good teaching, coaching skills, and enjoying people, really. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.